This is a tutorial on how to make a successful Magacore black metal band. And before I actually do the tutorial or talk about the three things that you need to do to do that, I'm going to just explain a few things. And the first being, I have turned comments off for this video, and I will explain why later. And the second thing is, what is Magacore? Now, or Magacore black metal. Now, I'm just naming it Magacore. It's pro-MAGA black metal, but I'm just naming it Magacore because I want that to become... I want those guys to co-opt it so that I can be credited with inventing the term, and it can all link back to videos of me throwing most of this under the bus. But the first real... And what that technically... Magacore technically is black metal that uses images from the American Revolutionary War, War of 1812, the Civil War, to co-opt... They claim to be a subsect of NS black metal, but I'll get into why that's not later. Now, this is Grom by Oak, Ash, and Thorns. This is the original pressing from 2004 that I'm unable to reprint because somebody wants to claim that they own that. However, if you take this disc out and you look at the inlay, see that? USNSBM. This is from 2004. This is the first real attempt to put pro-American patriotic soldiers and other images into right-wing black metal. This was released in 2004. Now, Grom is somebody who got absolutely no credit for their significance in American black metal in the Wolves Among the Sheep book, where he was just relegated to one paragraph followed up by somebody who is followed up by somebody else who convicted pedo. So that clearly the people that make determinations about all of that don't have any interest at all in actually having an accurate record, and all of the people that wanted to make black metal great again just got screwed. And then there's, of course, the Villain Special Services, which, while not black metal band, was my noise, music, concrete stuff, okay, that put that in there. Articles of Confederation completely failed, not achieve the intended goals. I went insane and could never do that, even though I may someday try to find a way to make an album with that in a different electronic style, but that doesn't get into what this is bled to. And I forgot that I released these, but in 2016, during the first Trump administration, it's called alt-right black metal. There were two bands, Kek, Misty Woods of Kekistan. It's back when I put these disclaimers on all the releases trying to continue to operate because I couldn't get a unified political consensus. Solace CD 030. Completely forgot I released it. And this is, as can be imagined, for what it is, it's pretty good. And I'm sure if you can find this somewhere, be worth a fortune to do. Could probably repress it, but just favor more active bands, because the guy did give me the rights to this. But that's another story for another day. And the only significance of this album is that it no longer exists in the memory hole because politically motivated metal archives ran and exposed by leftists. Exposed. I think on this podcast I have the link to the article, just for that. This was in their database, and then when it actually physically manifested into a reality, they just went and deleted the entire project from their database. It's not even there. You cannot find it, and they will not let you put that in there. So there's that. And then, of course, Fate Lancer, which is the one that was a little more active, and this is a little more on the pulse of what would you would think with a Make America Great Again themed black metal band, and right down to the disc, which again, Immigration Customs Enforcement. And this was the lighting is really bad in here. Need to go where there's better lighting. Okay, I can't even read what the catalog number on this was, so somebody will have to look that up. But I forgot that I released these. I completely forgot until I went to go do this podcast, walked by my shelf that has all of my the CDs that I've released and my CD collection on it, walked by the beat-up, falling apart shelf that I need to replace, and realized that, oh yeah, I did release these. I've done so many things that are ahead of their time as a label that I have forgotten these things. I have forgotten what we have done. And then people will have to come and remind me. Okay? 88 Chambers Shaolin on Telegram. That's what it's for. But none of those are what is considered... those obviously didn't go anywhere, and Grom was well before that. So those are not what would be considered a successful MAGA-Core black metal band. And... so I'm going to explain to you what you need to do that, because we obviously failed, and the reason that I failed to do that, the Winter Solace failed to make that. I remember going on NWN saying we were going to do all that. The reason we failed is because we didn't adhere to this simple 3-step formula. And now, while I'm going to put these steps in numerical order, you do not need to do them in numerical order. There's no scientific evidence that you need to do that. Okay. Now, the first step, and this is important, and this is why I have to turn comments off, is you go and convert to Christianity, or just tell people that you're going to. Whether or not you actually convert is completely irrelevant. So like this, Satanic Prophecy, Azoth, for American traditional satanic black metal. This is probably one of the greatest EPs that was ever released of that musically, and in my opinion, it's way better than anything else the guy ever did, even though I can't listen to it anymore. And this 10-inch, 110 inches, like 150 cassettes, I think we did 350 CDs. All of these are basically a meme stock now. It literally functions like a meme coin. Okay? That's what this has been reduced to. Functions like a meme stock. Like, if I had extra money to go and do stuff with the label, I would go buy these back from where I sold the dead stock to. So they would make money and then put these in storage for like 20 years. Because this is literally... if somebody reading this has it, listening to this has one of these, this is a meme stock. That's what this is. What this has been reduced to. That's what that is. Complete disgrace. This is, you convert to Christianity, or you don't have to actually convert, because again, you're not playing this stuff live anywhere. You don't have any in-person contacts and any in-person networking to match your internet persona. Like in the real world, I can't even speak. Like, the one concert I went to, I'd have somebody follow me around all the time because I cannot communicate with people because I have absolutely no social skills. I'm totally transparent about that. Okay? Like, in the real world, I can't even talk. Yet, online, I can speak for days. So, that's that. But, okay. Convert to Christianity, and the reason that you do this is not for any spiritual belief. Okay, that's not what you use to troll everybody because it's marketing. All that it is marketing. And I'm gonna flash an example of this that we received on this over this. It may not work because I may have not gotten all of that ironed out yet to interlace all of the digital evidence with this. But that's what you do. It's to promote yourself. Because here's how you do that. Then you get people talking about you, about your music. Oh, well, it's good music, but it's pro-Christian. But that's atypical of black metal. And it pisses people off. And then it invites discourse. And it invites continued discussion. And that's how you promote yourself and remain relevant on the internet. Okay? That's how you do that. And then people are always talking about you and promoting you even when you're not even there. And all these private chat forums and these private chat groups and everything else. And then people go on, look onto that and go, oh, I want to go check that out. And then you go get free promotion, you get free press, you get free everything. And that's why I turn the comments off, because these people are not going to be able to use our platform to go promote that. They use all the complaining on the internet. I did it for almost 20 years before I finally went insane and left the Black Vault. People are just ripping off my business model by promotion through trolling. Because the only currency that's left that's actually worth anything is attention. It's the only currency that's left. Money, worthless. Bitcoin, worthless. Completely complicated, also worthless. Fucking Coinbase is terrible. Confusing. Anyway. Euro, worthless. Gold, that's going down, by the way. Like, I got out of gold. Like, everyone's like, oh, you gotta invest in gold. It's like, the only time you invest in gold is when the economy is booming. And just like booming, because then it's cheap. And then when everything crashes, then the value of gold increases. Okay? Just stocks. I'm not a financial advisor. Okay, but if you want to give me a bunch of money to advise you, I will take the money, but it may take me over 1,000 years to get back to you with qualified financial advice. But anyway. Okay, that's what this is. And, okay, and see, as you can see by this hat, I'm an actual patriot. Okay, I went to a Trump rally. I wore this exact t-shirt to a Trump rally near 20 minutes from my house. Flew into the airport. He talked for like 3 hours. Everything was hot, and old people were passing out, and they had to get stretchers in there. And he's just like, well, just stop. Let me know when. He actually stopped. Leader of the free world just stopped talking. Well, let me know when. Just let me know. You guys go do your job. Like, your boss at your job. And they took the guy out of there. Okay, I actually went to that. Okay, and newsflash, okay, at these things, they have pro-Trump rap. That goes with all the MAGA gear and all the stuff that you can buy there made in China. Like, I actually had photos on my phone I took of somebody, they had a hat on, I was standing behind them, I took a photo of it. Back of their head, it said, you know, the price of your UPC code, made in China, little American flag and a bald eagle, because everybody was just outsourcing this because you cannot make the stuff here. The reason there's no manufacturing here. Okay? But that's that. So the Trump people don't want this. Okay, it's black metal. So that's that. So that none of the Christian people want this. And newsflash, okay, for all these pro-Christian black metal guys that are just trolling everywhere. Okay, when the King of Kings comes down from his throne, okay, and the Creator comes to realign everything and usher in the cyclic change to the New Age, and the realignment and Armageddon and all that stuff, or Armageddon, okay, to usher that in, switching us out of the Kali Yuga. One, we'll probably all be dead when that happens, because this will not be within our lifetimes when this happens. But any of these people like this that take the symbols of the evil and darkness and try to use them to as a cop-out to go and get right with the Creator, or what they believe to be the creator in that Abrahamic sphere of hoodoo and allegories and stuff, those guys would be the first to go. Okay? Because if you want to, newsflash, you just live ethically right with integrity, which is a hard thing to do, you're fine. But instead it's, well, I'm going to just do this to troll and have no respect for the thing that I'm trying to claim I align with and promote with. Or what, anything. But anyway, so that's the first step, is you convert to Christianity and you use that to troll yourself. To troll everybody, and that's how you promote yourself. So you've gotten this, because a band is a brand, you're now trolling out there, and it's bringing in the energy and the money, and then you need to go and you need to get somebody to produce the product to perpetuate your existence. And so the next step of this is you go to Asrarlabel, who you go, I want to release this, we have a lot of hype on Instagram or whatever, and then his response is, oh, well, that's great, wonderful, I'm going to go wake up the guys at the vinyl plant on a Saturday and cut him another check for €5,000. Because that's what he does. So you get him to pay to press this, mass produce it, 500,000 LPs, 500 plus CDs. You just get him to mass produce this, to put €5,000 into this music that he has not listened to, that you haven't listened to, that nobody has listened to, by the way. Okay? You get him to do that. And then everyone bitches on the internet even more. So it increases. Okay? The phenomenon and the hype increases. And you're now a commodity. And everyone's talking about you. And everyone's promoting you. For free. Just vicariously. Because they feel aligned to that. People are attracted to hype. Okay? And then comes the third and the most important step. And if you don't do this, you cannot make a successful Magacore band. Okay? And that is, you then realize that Asrar has no ideological principles, has released Christian bands, has released Muslim bands, has released stuff with fisting porno on the cover, released leftist bands, zero conviction. So you realize that this is not an ethical place for you to continue your advancement of your activity. Or you order something from a distro and then you get a flyer with that, realizing that you can just get paid €1,000 for your recordings through Asrar, and he's probably not paying you. Probably didn't, because he can't afford to pay everybody with all of his releases that he hasn't listened to. So there's all of that. So you go, and then you realize that, okay, this is not viable, so you leave there, and then you have a bunch more drama with you leaving there, and then you go and appease, then you can go to your family, your Instagram, or whatever platform you're using, and you talk to these people, and it's like, hey fam, I left, I'm doing the right thing, we all need to support me, and then you reunify all your support, and then you go to the one place left that will press your music, because I'm not going to do it. We used to be the place where if nobody would press it, we would press it, and now we don't do that, because I have way too much going on with ethical people and ethical bands, and bands worth listening to. And so then you go to the Mexicans for your pro-American, pro-MAGA, patriotic band. Because no American company is going to press this and put it with the Patriot movement. No one's going to do that. There's no money in that. Okay? So you do that, And they make their little, 30 pieces at that cheap factory down there that everything comes out of there where they think it's like the best quality, but when you actually compare that to other manufacturing, it's not. Well, no, because we did press one of our CDs there, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's great quality," but it's not. So you go there, and then you're working with them now. You do splits with them, the pro-Mexican nationalist guys, which advocate Mexican supremacy, which, among other things, would, let's see, reconquering the Americans and getting rid of the colonizers, which would be the European Hispanics of Mexico and the Irish and Nordic populations that originally colonized America. I'm not okay, you have to understand a little bit about history, okay? Before we just declared our independence from Britain for religious freedom reasons, the first people to visit America that were not the first white people were the Nordic people. And if you look around on the internet enough, you can find a bunch of people who will tell you that those were the Aryans. I mean, I don't know how accurate that is, but you can find people that would do that. So you're lying, yeah, and so there's that. So not only are you aligning yourself with the forces that are the opposite of what you're supporting, you're doing that. Pro-Mexican stuff. And they're the ones who want to immigrate to the U.S., by the way. Because Mexican, like the actual society level of Mexico, is more screwed up than America is. Because the cartels run everything. So there's that. And not only that, you do all that, you're just to cement that you're a total parody of yourself. Okay? You spell America wrong. On purpose. And the reason I'm not naming bans and not allowing any comments is I don't want this to be negative towards those bands or those people. And I don't want online vitriol directed at them because it just promotes them. But I just want to illustrate how stupid this is and that all of this stuff is basically a parody of itself.